All right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Secret Path Week event. As we gather today, we are reminded that throughout Canada, we are situated on Indigenous lands, both ceded treaty land and unceded land. This land is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. As a country, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of the land on which we live and work. So today, I acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Neutral people on whose territory I am broadcasting from today. So my name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today's event. In fact, all of today's events. We have 5 live events today to kick off Secret Path Week. If you haven't heard of Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants, we're all about bringing science, adventure, exploration, and conservation live into classrooms across North America and beyond. We do this through virtual guest speakers and field trips. Each month, we host anywhere from 40, 50, even 60 live events for classrooms to join in. So if you check out exploringbytheseat.com, you can find all of the events we have coming up this month and in the future. All right. So this is our 3rd year collaborating with the Gore Downey and Choreographer Fund to bring Indigenous leaders, artists, and scientists live into classrooms across North America. We have an incredible week in store, consisting of 20 live events, including musical performances, language lessons, storytelling, and so much more. The Gore Downey and Choreographer Fund is part of Gore Downey's legacy and embodies his commitment and that of the Downey and Wenjack families to build cultural understanding and create a path towards reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. So the goal of the Downey Wenjack Fund is to continue the conversation that began with Channy Wenjack's residential school story and to support the reconciliation process through awareness, education, and action. So we want to encourage classrooms to do something. And if your classrooms aren't already part of the Legacy School programs, you can check it out. It's a free national initiative to engage, empower, and connect students and educators to further reconciliation through awareness, education, and action. So you can head over to the Downey Wenjack site there and find all the details you need about the Legacy Schools program. All right, as I mentioned, we have a jam-packed day today. We're going to start off with Angela Miracle Gladue. She is a dancer, choreographer, educator, and artist, a member of the Frog Lake First Nation. With over 15 years of professional dance experience as an entertainer, she has taught in countless schools, Indigenous communities, youth centers, and conferences throughout North America since 2004. She believes in a responsibility to share the knowledge she has gained and continues to pursue dance education while using her existing skills to mentor others so they can succeed. So I'm going to bring Angela in here live with us now. Hey, Angela, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Great. Well, it's so great to have you joining us live. I believe you've joined us all 3 years. So this is the big hat trick today, year 3. We're thrilled to have you joining us and kicking off Secret Path Week.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
All right. Well, we've got a great group of classrooms live on camera with us, an even bigger group tuning in live via YouTube. So if you're on YouTube right now, introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from. And Angela, I'm going to let you take over for a little bit because I know the classrooms are dying to get to know you a little better.
Awesome. What time does this go till?
So if you want to share maybe 15, 20 minutes, then we'll have some Q&A action and we'll probably wrap up shortly before 11.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hey, Tanse. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me today. I'm a professional dancer and I've been performing since I was about 6 years old. I started powwow dancing at that age through my school and started with the fancy shawl dance. So the fancy shawl dance is a contemporary dance that has been adopted into the powwow culture and way of life. And powwow dancing is a form of celebration and through song and dance. And typically where I'm from in Treaty 6 territory near Edmonton, Alberta, and all the surrounding nations, the reserves, there's powwows every weekend in the summer. And so I would try my best to get out to any powwows I could. I don't drive and I lived in the city my whole life. So I've done a lot more performances than I have powwows since I was a child. So these, I don't want to call them events, but the cultural gatherings are, I don't know, I wish I could see you all right now so I could raise your hands if anyone's ever been to a powwow before. Oh, right on. There you go. Oh, this is much better. Okay, I could see you now. Thank you. Has anyone ever been to a powwow before? Oh, yeah, some of you, right on. You had some powwow dancers. Have you had powwow dancers perform for you before, or have you? I've seen a few people raise their hands. So these cultural gatherings, there's a lot that takes place at these events, and so families go, elders, children, babies, aunties, uncles, everybody, the whole fam jam goes, and there's a category for every age that exists, from babies all the way to golden age elders. And it's a very beautiful event, and there's ceremonies that take place, and for many people it's a way of life that they live by honoring themselves, dressing in their regalia, and then dancing in these spaces where we keep our culture alive through these songs and dances. So I started doing this at 6 years old and continued through my teen years. And I always had a dream that I wanted to perform in front of thousands of people. Even though I was a very shy kid, I grew up with a lot of social anxiety. So if you've ever heard about this, for me, anytime I was in a room with a bunch of people, my heart would start racing, and I always felt like I wanted to cry because I just had a very difficult time figuring out how to have conversations and make friends and all that. And interestingly enough, even though I was super shy, quiet, and afraid to talk to people, for some reason I can always get on stage and perform. It's kind of like you have no choice, you know, as soon as it's like your time to shine, your time to get out there, it's something in me would just turn on and I would just dance. And to this day, that's how it is. So I just thought maybe I could share a couple of performances with you. Not live because I'm in my little living room here, but I have a couple videos I can share with you. And then I figure maybe we can do some dancing if you're up for it, wherever you are, in your classroom, beside your desk, at home, and maybe do some basic steps today. And so before we get to that, yeah, I always had this dream of performing in front of thousands of people on stage, and I always wanted to travel the world. That became one of my dreams, my goals. And when I was 18, I decided to pursue breaking. So some of you may have heard of break dancing, but it's actually called b-boying or b-girling or breaking. And it comes from New York, from the South Bronx, and is something that I became interested in through seeing other Native kids in my community who were all b-boys and some b-girls as well. And I was very influenced by these kids, other Native kids, from the age of 12 all through my teen years. But again, I was very shy and didn't really, I was too scared to ask for help or, you know, ask for lessons or can you teach me a move? So I would just dance at home in my living room and practice what I thought was breaking. So it wasn't until I was about 18 years old I decided to take it serious and be brave and ask, hey, where do you all practice? I want to come practice too. And I did face a lot of resistance from some of the guys in the community who, I don't know what their experience was, but for me, the pushback was, oh, she's not going to last a week. She's not going to last a month. And so I don't know, hearing this made me want to prove them wrong. And so I'd always show up to practice and just dance on my side of the wherever the space. And I just did what I thought was breaking. And it was from there I started training with Matthew Wood, B-Boy Creation, James Jones, Ridiculous Lee, Sharpie Shane, Vernon. These are some of the B-Boys that were in the community that were also First Nations. And I started performing with them and the Red Power Squad, which was led by Conway Kootenay. So yeah, began touring across Canada and the US with this native B-Boy crew. And that was when I was 18 years old. So I really, I guess, started professionally dancing at 18 years old and getting paid to dance and perform, which is really what my heart wanted to do since I was about 12 years old, when I realized and saw other Native B-boys and dancers doing this work, traveling across Canada, performing on stage. And I was like, man, I want to do that. So I've been doing it ever since. I'm 36 now, and I now dance for the Hallucination. They were called A Tribe Called Red, and so they make really amazing music by mixing powwow, drum music, which I talked a little bit about, you know, powwows earlier, and then they mix it with like house music, hip hop, drum and bass, mumbo tune, just that music that makes you wanna dance. So it's a beautiful mix, and I've been touring with them since 2016 and professionally dancing all over the world, from like huge music festivals to I don't know, all types of places. So I have a couple clips to share with you if you're interested. Hey Joe, the second clip, maybe you could play the second one I dropped in the chat there. Or maybe I could share my screen. I don't know. Let me see. Share video file. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All of our Indigenous sisters out there. All of our women out there, make some noise.
And that's it. That's it for that. So that was the Fancy Shawl Dance, and that was a song called Sisters by the Hallucination, A Tribe Called Red. And I have like one more I dropped in the chat, the first video link. So this is a traditional hoop dance. Again, I performed it to A Tribe Called Red song. And this dance is a healing dance from the Taos Pueblo tribe of New Mexico. And this dance was passed to different Indigenous nations across Turtle Island to keep the dance alive. So if you didn't hear, a lot of our dances were outlawed and made illegal. There was a culture ban in the US and Canada, so Native people were not allowed to perform any dances, sing any songs, speak language, anything like that. And if you did, you would get in a lot of trouble. Some people would get fined, arrested. It was just not good. And so powwow dancing is something that is now become a form of resistance and a way that we represent ourselves as Nehiyaw people. And the hoop dance is something that I just started doing in 2018, so not that long ago. So this next clip here is the hoop dance, which is a healing dance. And traditionally, it was done by the medicine people in the nation who would use the hoop to be able to see into people's bodies of what kind of sickness they need healing from. There's a man named Tony Whitecloud who innovated the dance. Instead of just the one hoop that was used for ceremonial purpose, he innovated the dance into what you're going to see, which is the 5-hoop foundation. And you're going to see a lot of different shapes that show how we are all connected in this circle of life. So you might see some animals, you might see some tools like the basket, a ladder, the ladder of life. But I'll let you decide what you see, all right? So this is the hoop dance. Again, I consider myself a tiny tot. Just kidding. Tiny tot at the powwows are the like 5 and under category. But I feel like I've graduated to the junior category now, which is like age 6 to 12. Yeah, just kidding. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. This is the hoop dance. Thank you.
Amiskwaciwâskahikan. Thank you.
All right, that was the hoop dance. And for that show, I was attempting to do a brand new transition. So for me, I learned the 5 Hoop Foundation from my friend Lisa Ojig, who's a 2-time world hoop dance champion. So if you're all interested in seeing more, there is the World Hoop Dance Championships that has the best of the best that all compete to see who's the best in all the land at hoop dancing. And so Lisa taught me how to get into some of the moves and then how to form the shapes. And then I pieced together my own routine. However, there's this one transition that I was trying to get at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it for this show, but I couldn't. I was like struggling. So that was like, I don't know, a very humbling experience, because I also wanted to push myself to try it. And and I don't know, that's just how it is sometimes, learning as you go, and you try your best, but sometimes you'll make mistakes, but you just got to keep on going. And even if you drop a hoop, pick it up and keep on going. And that's very much like a metaphor for life too, that it's okay and to keep going to the end. So I have one more clip to show you. And so this is just a little bit of some hip hop dancing, some breaking, and another culture that I love very much. So my friend made this video of me that he took over the years. We're in the same crew called Rhythm Speaks. And so he made this, video montage for all the members of Rhythm Speaks. He made one for every member, which was real sweet. He always had his camera out at all the shows that we performed at. So I'm just going to share this last video clip with you all. And yeah.
A man to figure out makes my heart to carry out. You leave me hanging, baby. Hit me up, hit me up. It's just isn't right, you being gone all night. This is how you try to keep me home. You seem not to care what was ours to share. You are never there to keep me warm. You're just saying things, your bell that never rings. The trouble that you bring just puts me down. It just isn't right, you being gone all night. If this is how you try to keep me on. Hit me up, hit me up. Give me hope, give me hope, give me hope, give me hope, give me hope. Give me hope, give me hope. This just isn't right, you being gone all night. If this is how you try to keep me home. You seem not to care what was ours to share. You are never there to keep me warm. You're just saying things, your bell that never rings. The trouble that you bring just puts me down. This just isn't right, you being gone all night. If this is how you try to keep me home. Hit me up, hit me up. Give me hope, give me hope, give me hope, give me hope, give me hope. takes a lot to figure out, makes my heart to carry.
Yeah, so that was a cute little video my friend made for me. So I just wanted to share that. Just cause, in case you were curious, that's an older video too, by the way. Like, holy, I think that's like 10 years old. But yeah, I'm still getting down, still freestyling, still performing. And does anyone, you got any questions out there?
Absolutely. Angela, thank you so much for sharing those great performances. Even more impressive because that hoop dance was amazing. And I think you were saying at the end, you'd only been doing it for about a year at the time. So
Yeah.
pretty darn impressive. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have, I mean, there's too many groups to list on YouTube who've introduced themselves so far, but just we'll grab a few here. Miss Notes Group in Brampton, Ontario. We've got Gems Academy in Chicago. We've got another school in Brampton, Thorland, Ontario. Let's see a few more here. Timmins, Canada, Kitchener, Newcastle, Vancouver Island. So lots of folks tuning in. But let's jump into some questions with our live classroom. So let's see here. Our first live classroom is joining us from Etobicoke, Ontario. Look like from West Glen Junior, some 3rd and 4th graders. Let's bring them in and see how they're doing today. There they are. Hey, West Glen, how are you doing?
Hi, everyone. So my class has to go for recess.
Yeah.
So they're outside right now. So unfortunately, they're not in class to ask any questions. But if you want to go to another class,
okay.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. If there's a question you have from them, feel free to leave it in the chat, and we can make sure that's answered so they can catch up when they get back.
Absolutely. They'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. So I will collect some questions and I'll add it to the chat.
Perfect. All right, let's jump to another crew here. We're going to go to Mr. Botch's crew in Toronto, Ontario. Looks like some 4th graders. Let's bring them in. Hey, 4th graders.
Hi, we've been really enjoying it. And I know you mentioned your social anxiety earlier, and we were wondering, is there a way that you kind of gear up to perform in front of people with that?
You know what? I've been doing it so long now that I just go. But you know what? Before, I don't know. Before, I just remember freaking out, just being like, oh snap, here we go. About to go on stage. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then as soon as they call your name, it's just like they introduce you, then you just bing. I don't know. To me, it's kind of like acting, right? And in the times that I didn't feel confident or I was freaking out and felt super nervous, and I still do this, I guess it's the acting part is just, you know, put a smile. It's like pretending to be so confident that you will get confident the more you do it. And it's like turning on a light switch, I guess, and just taking these notes that people have taught me over the years. So one of them was just like smiling or projecting your energy all the way to the back of the room. So for me, you know, if people are right there in front of you and it makes you nervous to even look at somebody in the face, it's like projecting your energy all the way to the back of the audience, you know, and just looking above people's eye level or head, so that your energy is just going out there, and then just dancing as hard as you possibly can, you know, like really putting everything you have on stage, no matter how nervous you are. And that's actually the perfect place to put all that energy, is just into your art, into your performance, into your whatever it is, singing. And yeah, so I guess I don't know, that's what I would just do. It's like, oh snap, here we go. And then they call you, bing, you just go, and then don't think about it. It's like jumping into a pool, you know, you're taking that dive. And that's how I've always done it. I don't really know any other way or how other people do it, but and then other times, if it's a show that you have choreography to, or now you're dancing in a crew. So I dance in a crew called the Fly Girls. It's an all-female dance crew, and they're professional. And We've done big stage competitions like at the World Hip Hop Championships, the Canadian Hip Hop Championships. And at those points, that was actually the scariest for me, because now it's not just you by yourself. It's you with a group of people, and you can't mess up, because if you mess up, it's just like, oh man, I let my whole crew down. So it's like practicing and rehearsing your movement so you're confident in your movement by the time you hit the stage, and it's like muscle memory. So we would practice for months just for like a 2-minute stage competition performance. But I have blanked out on stage before for a few seconds, and it's like the worst feeling ever, because it feels like a whole minute has gone by, but it's just a few seconds, and you just gotta get back on and pick the next move up so that, you know, you keep it going. You know, you don't stop, you don't give up in the middle of the show and be like, oh no, I made a mistake, I'm just gonna walk off now and like, you know, I'm just gonna end my dance career now. It's just, you just keep going and pick up where you left off and dance even harder. So yeah, thanks for the question.
All right. Great question from our 4th graders to get us started. Where should we go next? Miss Howard's class is joining us in Ontario. Let's bring them in here. There we go. Hey, Miss Howard's crew.
Hello. The question is, what was your favorite dance or performance?
What was my favorite dance or performance?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I loved dancing with the Flag Girls at opening up for TLC and Busta Rhymes, because those are two, like, Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite MCs ever. And so we opened up for his show. It was so hype. It was the best. And then also TLC, like, I've loved TLC since I was a child, and we got to open up for their show too, which was just like, felt very legendary for me, and we got to meet them backstage, and they influenced a lot of the dances that are out there, and they've just influenced the whole dance culture. And so those are two of my favorite performances, was opening up for these artists with my dance crew that I love performing with. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Where to now? Let's go to Miss Kaufman's crew. They're in Gorey, Ontario. Looks like some 3rd and 4th graders hanging out with us. Let's bring them in. There they are. Hey, Miss Kaufman's crew, how are we doing?
We're good. Jacelyn and Connor have a question.
Do you have different outfits for your performances?
Yep, I have a few different fancy shawl regalia. So the shawl. So what you saw when I danced to Sisters, that was a fancy shawl regalia. So I have different. I have a pink one, I have a gold one, I have a black one, I've got a yellow one, and I have a silver one that's sparkly and dazzling with pink on it. So I have different regalia, and I have a jingle dress, and then I have my hoop dance dress, and then I do tons of wardrobe changes when I'm freestyle dancing as well. So yes.
And then go ahead, Connor, real quick.
Do they have any special elements?
Do your outfits have any special elements on them?
Yeah, the shawls have long fringe, so that would make it a special element, because it makes the outfit much bigger than it is, I guess. It makes it longer. And so when you do spins, the fringe flies with your dancing, and then you have to dance with the shawl and you have to make the shawl dance as well as your feet moving at the same time, and then your spins. And then the hoop dance, the special elements, of course, is the hoops. I think my hoops are downstairs, but and then our feather, eagle feather, that's another very, very, very special element, because that represents the eagle, which flies the highest to the creator, sees the farthest, and it's a special animal that we respect. And it's, if we see an eagle, that's like a good sign for us that somebody is praying for us, and that creator, or you might call creator God, is looking out for us. And so a lot of people earn eagle feathers, and it could take somebody a whole lifetime to earn an eagle feather. And before, when we had warrior societies, they would earn eagle feathers by what they did for the community, and how you live selflessly. And people are still living that life today, whether it's like earning their degrees or how they conduct themselves in the community and help other people. So there's many different ways people earn eagle feathers, but that's another very special element that you'll see is eagle feathers on people's regalia.
All right. Very cool. Another great question from our crew. Miss LaRock's class in Kirkland Lake, some 6th graders with us. Let me bring them in here. Hey, 6th graders, how we doing?
Hi, how are you?
We're good. Great to see everyone.
We had a really similar question. You just answered a lot of our wonderings about your regalia. But what we did notice, we're making a connection. A few students were noticing that the Indigenous art we've studied throughout our year so far is very vibrant in color. And we wondered if the colors of your regalia are a choice that you make, or if they have any other symbolic element there.
Yeah, so you won't see like any 2 regalia that are exactly the same. So everybody's regalia means something to them. So you'll see all different kinds of colors and designs, but the same general idea will apply to the dance style. So for fancy shawl dance, all the fancy shawl dancers will all have a shawl, dress, and then beadwork. So then the beadwork, they'll have the hair ties. They might have a choker or drop, and then a yoke, which sits, it's like a cape, and it sits over top your shawl, and it's fully beaded. And then we got leggings and moccasins. So generally the leggings, moccasins, and beadwork matches, and then your shawl and skirt match. And then they usually are contrasting colors so that it stands out. But for me, my outfit was made by Rhonda Paul Cardinal, and she originally made the outfit for her niece. And then I loved the outfit, and then her niece was selling it one day, and I was like, I would love to buy that outfit. So for me, there are some fire colors, which is red, yellow, orange, and pink on my beadwork. And for me personally, even though she made it for her niece, so I don't know if there's a significant relevance for her niece or if it's just colors that she liked, because she mixes all kinds of colors that you wouldn't even think go together, and she just makes the most incredible outfits. But for me, fire can be a representation from my Cree name, which is Amiskwaciwâskahikan, and it means like a little spark that turns to fire. So I've always loved fire colors. So I try to put those colors on my regalia. Like my hoop dress has those colors. It's a turquoise dress, and then it has the ribbons, which represents fire for me. And then it's just cool that my beadwork happens to have those colors as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
All right. Well, Angela, I know the classes are itching to practice a few moves, learn a few moves. And I know maybe the educators would like that too, tire them out nice and early in the school day. So what do you say? Let's learn a few moves, and if you're up for it, and then maybe we'll squeeze in one more question from YouTube right at the end.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's see here. Now it's like, do we do some hip hop? Do we do some powwow dancing? I don't know.
As well, classrooms, don't be shy. Those tuning in via YouTube, those who are in camera spots, if you want to get up and get involved, get your body moving, and try along with Angela as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? I'll teach you the basic step, and this step is universal for the different styles of powwow dancing that you'll see out there. The thing that makes it different is how you do the step, including how you hold your posture. And so generally we'll see The men have their styles and the women have their styles. However, it's non gender, you know, it doesn't have to be gendered, but the styles. So if you do the traditional warrior dance, the men's traditional, they're more low to the ground with the posture. And if you're doing jingle or fancy, that's like up higher here with the posture. But the step remains the same. So it's just a little 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. So we're just going to practice that step to some music. If you ever go to a powwow, which I encourage you to go check out if you hear about one, because not only does that bring good energy for the dancers, but you can learn something as well and then be a part of the culture by being a spectator and bringing that good energy and supporting, you know, the vendors, the dancers. But during a time when you hear them say intertribal time, you'll hear the MC call out all the dancers. It doesn't matter if you have a regalia or not. And if you're a visitor, if you're non-Indigenous, this is the time you're welcome to dance. So this step will come in handy for you. I'm just grabbing a song here. You know what? Maybe we'll just practice to some Tribe Called Red for now, some hallucination.
That's coming through great, Angela. We can hear it.
Okay, cool. The beat of the drum.
Oh, there's me again.
bounce. 1, 2, switch, switch, switch. Yeah, and you keep that bounce going the whole time. Good job. So we have a few steps. We've got the shuffles. So shuffling your feet back and forth. You keep that bounce going the whole time. We got this one. Maybe we can call it the diamond. So you're going to the front, side, back, together. You can also go back, side, front, together. Okay, and you're keeping that bounce going the whole time. What else did we do? Oh, stepping out, boom, 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 boom. And then one more. This one's a little crisscross. Bringing your feet in and out, out and in. So now, let's see what time it is. You can put those steps together. So let's see, y'all.
We can do about another 4 or 5 minutes, Angela.
Well, 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, right on. That's perfect. Just grabbing another song. Okay, this is a little faster, a little more to speed. This is not traditional powwow music. We are dancing a Tribe Called Red, okay? Maybe we should try one powwow song just so you could get the vibe when you actually go to a powwow. Sorry, I'm just trying to find, oh, Fancy Dance. Here we go. Oh, this is a little bit fast. Ooh, this is really fast. Okay, we'll try this one. All right. the drum stops, you gotta stop or you're out of there. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, dancing in my living room here.
Very, very cool. That was great, Angela. I could see all the students moving around. They're pretty excited to join in. And I think as we're wrapping up today, there's a great question from Mrs. Talarico's class on YouTube, and they would really like to know, what is the easiest, the best part, or what is the hardest part of being kind of an independent artist and supporting yourself that way?
The best part for me is, I guess, having my own schedule and having it be random. I mean, like, it's always different, so I love that. And then the hardest, I guess, is just like having faith that it's just going to keep on going. And so far, it's just kept going, because sometimes it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to get any more performances. And then all of a sudden, the calendar books up and I'm just like, cool, right on. And I am open to doing all kinds of work, you know. But so far, it's been working out for me as a dancer, and I'm very thankful. So I guess there's some months it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be performing at all this month. And so I do look for work. I do little contracts because I love working with kids as well. So like in the summertime, I worked at a kids camp, which was so awesome. And I got to teach film. So I do other things as well. I do beadwork, film, and teaching dance classes as well. So yeah, I just try to do as many different things as I can. But that's probably the hardest, is just being like, I don't know if I'm going to get any like work this month. But yeah, so far it's so good.
Amazing. Well, Angela, what a pleasure to have you joining us, kicking off Secret Path Week this week. A reminder to everybody who's tuning in that you can go right to explorebytheseek.com and look under the special events, or you can use /secret-path-week and find all the events coming up this week and get in your registrations. To our classrooms today, wow, thank you to all the questions coming in via YouTube. Thank you to all the classrooms who took part and danced with us today. That was a lot of fun. Angela, again, what a blast. Thank you for sharing your passion with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Here, pop in a few classrooms. Thanks, everyone. It was great to see you today. We hope to see your group joining in some more Secret Path Week events.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Thanks, Angela. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.